they say third time is a charm. Sometimes I wish I could have the energy to post my outtakes before I post these videos for you all to see. But these are tiger lilies. They're in the genus of the Liliaceae, the lilies, and they are what's called angiosperms. So plants that have flowers that we love and adore are angiosperms. And then there's gymnosperms, the plants that don't have flowers. They're cone-bearing plants. I have been pollinating by hand these beautiful tiger lilies with the hopes of getting some sort of seeds. You know, some days I get bored and I do crazy botanist things. And this is a little nighttime botany because why just do botany in the day, right? So this yellow dust, it's almost like a dust or a powder that you'll see here on this flower is actually pollen. And the magic of it is, I didn't rub it hard enough. Boop, boop, boop. The magic of it is this pollen here. Again, it feels like a dust, but it is awesome. So plant sperm is pretty much what pollen is. So you think of like mammalian sperm, which a lot of us understand the concept of that. This is what these pollen is. It is something that is used to reproduce other plants. You know, we use it for breeding, hybridization, or just, you know, some people eat like bee pollen or other stuff trying to get their allergies together. Sometimes pollen can mess with your allergies. But the biggest thing is I take a Q-tip. You can also use like a paintbrush or just like your hands if you're just like, I don't have anything with me. And you take this pollen and you rub it. So I'm rubbing the stigmas. I've recorded this video multiple times, so I'm hoping I'm not messing up any words here in my plant physiology. And I basically take it and I rub it on this green piece here. But you could also already see the green piece in the back here has pollen on it. This green kind of thing sitting out here in the back is actually the female parts. It's the leading to the ovary. The tube has a pollen tube here, which will take this big tight pieces of pollen and it'll do the long stretch to the actual ovary, which, let's see if I can do this without destroying my flower, is kind of somewhere hidden in the canopy of the flowers, almost where the stem would be. Where the stem starts, I should say, and the flower ends, or the flower begins and the stem ends. But either way, that is there, and that is where we get seeds. So this is an awesome species to play with because the pollen is bright and yellow. I heard it can be very detrimental to like fancy tablecloths because it can stain them and it'll be difficult to be removed. I haven't had any issues yet, but I don't have any fancy tablecloths. But my hand is a little yellow, but it's kind of disappearing, right? But it is awesome. And again, these are beautiful species. But the one thing I wanted to impart you all with was the simple fact that plants are fantastic and they have power and meaning. And when you give someone a flower, it represents love for various reasons. That's the historical context that we have used to give people flowers, whether it's love, care, and concern. But this is a plant organ. Like when you sniff your nose into a flower, you're sniffing the crotch of a plant. It's like, you know, we don't walk up and stick our heads between people's legs in public. Hopefully you don't do that. But you'll take a flower and you'll give it to somebody and people will sniff and smell and be like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Let me sniff this plant crotch. Or, oh, my allergies are acting up. What happened? This plant sperm is messing with my allergies and I'm allergic to it. Or, ooh, let me eat this ripened ovary, or make it into applesauce, or eat this orange. So, it's funny things that we do with the anatomy of these plants that we typically wouldn't do with other things. But it is what it is. I hope you all are enjoying this quick video, even though it was way longer than I wanted it to be. And if you have any questions, hit me up.